want to make a short video. Here's a closer look up of my Rainbird slow reverse gun. And if you look, this looks similar to probably about, I'd say it looks similar to a Nelson. It is kind of, it has a lot of differences though. Nelson, for one, the trip mechanism here, that is usually out the back. This one's on the side. This one also has two drive vanes, one for forward and one for reverse. Basically, this arm will go up and down, and that drives it forward. But when this trip here trips, it'll move that gun over. It moves the drive arm over, and it hits the other side, which directs it right, and then that will move the gun left with every arm stroke until the gun hits its left stop, and then it basically goes the other way, goes forward again. It's about the same design as a rocket jet, I'd say. I still have not found who makes. I'm sorry, I don't know. I know who makes it. It's a Rainbird, but I have not found the model number. I have looked around, and I just cannot. I don't know. I figure maybe if I make this video, maybe someone will recognize it and let me know the model number. I tried looking at some old Rainbird catalogs, but I can't seem to find this model. I find everything but. I'm wondering if this is a model that they made. Maybe for only a short time. This was the TL dealer. This bottom here, base was locked up. I was not able to get that to rotate until I put some wrenches on it, moved it back and forth with some release all inside, and it came loose. The nozzle on it is .80, I believe, so it's pretty big. I did go ahead and adjust this drive spoon a little bit out more, so I figured it has a little bit more force to drive forward faster. I'm not sure if that's going to affect forward or reverse. It probably affects both, I would say. Rainbird does make some other guns. They make one that's like this, but it has dual drive arms. It has one arm for drive and one for reverse, so I hope to find that. I believe that's a 105 FP. This one, as you can see, has the Rainbird label, which tells you how to do speed adjustments and everything, but it does not have a model number anywhere that I could see. I have a couple videos of this running, so it does seem to run pretty good. It runs even better when I run it on 2 pumps. It's faster. So I also read that, here I read that this weight can be moved. I believe this also controls the forward and speed of the gun. If you move this weight over, I believe if you move this weight over here, it gives it more inward force, and if you move it out, it's outward. I don't know exactly that. I mean, this has more force to go, to come back down. But if you move it this way, then it's going to have more force. It's probably going to go farther like this, I would assume. So, and there's some kind of adjustment on the weight too. It's supposed to be able to. Oh, actually, I think we're talking about this. They weren't talking about the counterweight. I don't think that's adjustable. This depends on what pressure is going to the gun. This is a 2-inch female NPT pipe thread on it. And the brake, you just get a smaller wrench and tighten these down to tighten these springs up, and the sprinkler will move slower. There are some discs that compress and then help the sprinkler to move slower forward or backwards, because you don't want the sprinkler to be moving over too quick, so miss spots. I believe this originally, you can just this comes with one of these plastic nozzles. It's the same nozzle that's in the 103 and the 102 Rainbird. It's got the fins that hold it in there. So I do believe that this could also take a ring nozzle. If there was an assembly made, you just have to take this off. I was actually lucky that this was actually loose when I got it. I was able to, it had a 0.9 in there or something close to that, so I had to take that out and put a smaller one in. I only installed the 0.8 because I was running it off 2 pumps from the last time I run it. So I'm wondering, I'm hoping that since I adjusted this drive spin a little bit, it'll move a little bit faster, because it was moving slow in reverse and fast forward. So you got a connection back here. If you take this off, you can install a pressure gauge to see what the pressure is at the gun. Oh, and it also the thing on the side here, you can take that out and install like a tube that'll be next to the gun. It'll be like for a spreader. That's for a spreader nozzle. But it is not under the gun, it's on the right side, so I think it's like something that comes out and it goes over here. It's kind of like a range tube with a smaller range or spreader nozzle to help get close in coverage, but that's pretty much it. If you notice, the base on this is almost identical to a 103. So I always wondered if you could use this on a 103 if you had a broken one of these and a 103 that needed a base or a elbow. So when I got this, it ran pretty decent. It's not leaking at the bottom. It was just locked up, I believe, from sitting. So the mechanism on this, I can explain how it works. It's basically an over-centering mechanism, the same it's on the Comet, the same it's on the Nelson SR, and the rocker jets. Basically, like I said, the gun, this arm moves up and down with the stream, and when the water hits that, it's moving it over to the left a little bit, so every arm stroke, it moves it forward. And that's how the gun goes forward. But when it hits the stops, this will, the over-centering mechanism will trip with this, and it'll hit this, so that's hitting that. And then the water hits that, and then it creates energy to make it go back with every arm stroke. But it's slow. It's not the whip back effect like on the old fast reverse guns. So more water is put down. It's more efficient. It's slower, so it actually takes its time to put the water down. So this was a better design. It was less hassle, less maintenance, less cost of fixing it all the time. The fast reverse were plagued with problems, especially with the brake not being set, and parts breaking because of the the high pressure and water, volume of water put through these. But this is a lot safer since it just goes forward and back at the same speed, putting down twice the amount of water in less time, so it's more efficient. A lot of irrigation techs hate going up and messing with those old fast reverse guns. I think they're cool, but from a standpoint of an irrigation tech that's got to get up on a 10 or 20 foot ladder or whatever to go up and work on the fast reverse guns that are on the end of pivots, it's a pain, and they hate doing that. So they want to put up something that's going to last a long time, that's barely ever going to have to be touched. So Rainbird does make some other slow reverse. I think they have the SR 3003. There's some other like SR 2005. I've looked at them in catalogs, but I'm hoping somebody can tell me what model number this gun is, so I can edit my videos that I have of it and change it accordingly. But we'll see. Like I said, the labels on this do not give me any model numbers whatsoever. I believe there's supposed to be 3 labels on this gun. There's this one, it just says Rain Gun. This is Rainbird. The other one, a sticker here that tells you how to adjust it for low or high pressure operation, or adjust the speed. And then there's another label over here that basically tells you the model number of the gun. So I'm not exactly sure. It might have just been taken off on this, or it might have just, eroded away from the use. But to be honest, I don't know how long this was on the end of a pivot. That's where I assume it was. I'm not sure for sure, but it's actually in pretty good shape. I've seen a lot more guns being used in there, or rusted and wore away, and this is actually in pretty decent shape. Other than me having to move it back and forth and turn it and try to get the bearings loose, it doesn't even leak from the base, and the bearings themselves seem to be working fine now. So if anybody can chime in and let me know the model number, I'd appreciate it. So that's pretty much it.